Quick show of hands, who's actually using social media for anything in particular? 2 out of all of you? Okay, we're off to a rough start, Richard. Okay, just for the record, I'm a bit of a nerd. I talk really fast, I get really excited about this, so if I do, I need a volunteer to kind of look at me like, I'll slow down. The keystone here is that first impressions matter, and your personal brand is your secret weapon. So if you guys are already leveraging your personal brand in the real world through your reputation, through print, media, that type of thing, you guys are already aware of the exact process that I'm going to share with you. You just have to take that, bring it online. So quick, brief introduction about who I am. I've been in real estate marketing for about 17 years. I've done things like photography, videography, graphic design, brand strategy, logos, fonts, colors, all that stuff. We did staging, both real and virtual, interior design, website design, podcasting, social media management and marketing, and I have personally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money and other people's money on social media. There are 3 secrets that I've learned in all of that time that makes social media work. These are the 3 secrets that you guys need to make your social media work more effectively. So the first thing, I just want to get a quick kind of sense of where everybody's at. By show of hands, how many people are actually using direct mail? Bus benches? Networking, referrals, that's probably everybody. And has anybody done any boosting of your posts on social media, that kind of stuff? You've dabbled in it, but it didn't work, yeah? Probably why there was only 2 people that said yes, they use social media. And has anybody ever hired a marketing company to help them with their brand and all that kind of stuff? You have? How was your experience with that?
Bad.
Bad. Could you tell me why it was bad?
Well, it didn't give me the results I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the record, just so that we're on the same page, the results that you wanted were?
Good leads.
Good leads. Perfect. Secret number 1 is you got to go where the attention is. So nowadays, this is a staggering statistic. Average daily screen time in North America is 7 hours and 4 minutes. So if we're sleeping for 8 of those hours and we're working probably 12 because you guys are all real estate agents, so the other 7 hours that you have is spent on your phone. And we might put the TV on for some background noise, but nobody's there. You might be driving, but you're not listening to the actual radio. You're listening to something like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever.
Or not even watching the road.
Or not even. You could be driving a Tesla and sleeping. That's so the secret number 1 is you got to go where the attention is. So if you guys are putting your feature sheets on a tree in the middle of the woods, it's no wonder that nobody's going to engage with you because nobody's there. So that's kind of the problem with social media, is that their platform is in business because they have attention. And if you want that attention, unfortunately, the name of the game is you got to pay for that attention. So when you post something on there, what's happening is you're only reaching 1 to 3% of the audience that you guys have built. So if you have 100 followers on your Facebook account or on your Instagram or whatever, when you post something, 1 to 3 people see it. So that's why social media is not working. That's the first thing. So if you want people to see it, you either have to have an incredibly large audience with really, really engaging content, which posting listings over and over again is probably not the most engaging. We'll get to that. But we got to be where the attention is. We got to stand out there. Secret number 2 is we need to create social media. This is the big problem we have. So I'm going to go over this with examples and everything, but just so that we understand the principle here, the first thing is to create. Systemize a way to consistently create and distribute content online. So right now you probably have some pictures that you get taken, they get posted onto the MLS, then somebody somewhere posts them on your social media, and Bob's your uncle, you're kind of hoping that from there you're going to get some leads or somebody's going to see it. And the reality is you've just stapled your feature sheet on a tree in the woods. So we need to create content that's different than just putting the flyer on the tree in the woods. We need to make content that's valuable and shareable by the people that you're aiming to serve. Each one of you guys, although you are real estate agents, you serve a different group of people. Some of you may be luxury home buyers, some of you may be commercial, some of you may be first-time home buyers, maybe boomers, like whatever your audience is, whatever that group of people, they all require a different message, and so they need different content from you. Which brings us to media. You need to create digital content in as many formats as possible. How many people here like reading a book? How many people like listening to the book on your phone? And lastly, how many people like watching the movie? We had different people from different walks say, so this is why it's important not to just create photos, but to also have videos, but to also have audio. And so you have a a broader chance of reaching the people that you're trying to reach. So that's secret number 2. Secret number 3 is that old school still works. You guys have all seen or been taught, at least at some point in your life, the idea of a sales funnel, right? There's a whole bunch of people out there, and of that group of people, you want to get the right people to kind of filter through your filter so that when they get to the bottom, you're working with high quality leads, good leads, people that actually want to talk to you. So let's take a look at some of the different examples of this. So we're going to go through the 3 stages. The first stage is your awareness examples. So let's just say, for example, we go out there and we create a Hidden Gems in Our Community video series. It's a little ambitious, but we're going to give it a try. So it's a video series that highlights lesser known charming spots in your local community. These could be quaint coffee shops, beautiful parks, or historic landmarks, whatever it is, but it's that kind of area. You're letting people know that you're here and you're serving this area. And when they look at where this content came from, they can see that it's you, and they can see that you're a real estate agent. You don't need to force feed that down their throats. They already understand that. So we've made them aware that you exist. The next step is to make acquaintance with them. So they know you, but we got to get them over the like and trust part in order for them to actually become your clients. So this is, let's say, for example, you write a quick little 10 or 15 page Secrets to a Stress-Free Home Purchase ebook. So that ebook kind of delves into the intricacies of the home buying process. Your process specifically covers topics such as negotiating, understanding contracts, or common pitfalls to avoid. You take this piece of content now and you package it and you put a little wall between people who want it and how they get it. And that's a little form, you guys have all seen this before, where they put their name and their email in there, and then you have some robot automatically deliver that email to them. And now you guys are talking in a different medium. So you've taken them out of this space, you've moved them over here into this space, and now you guys are interacting in a different way. From there, we can continue to have engaging conversations with them through email, through text messages, through calls, through meetings, that kind of thing. And that comes from the action. So what you'll do is you'll create a personalized action plan. You can offer a customized action plan for individuals that are ready to sell their homes or make a purchase. And this is just an example of one of the ways that you can entice somebody to raise their hand and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually ready. I think I need your help. You seem to be an authority in your space. You know what you're doing. You work this area. I live in this area. Let's go. So still a little bit high level. We're still about 20,000 feet up. I want to kind of zoom in a little bit more. Let's see the execution of this. First, let's create a few short videos. Get a 1-minute video list style listing prep, create a 2-minute video on common pain points that your people experience. And then we go maybe a little bit longer. We do a 3-minute video on little known industry secrets, like the interest rate thing. That's something that you guys have now. That's ammo that you guys can now take and put in front of your audience, and they're going to want to engage with it. Obviously, if they're not buying or selling a house, it's not useful to them. But if it is, here's what happens. Just spend a little bit of money, get these videos in front of people. And we know with Facebook, for example, there's what's called true views. So we're guaranteed 15 seconds of consideration. So we pay a total of $300 to reach 7,500 people. It's very targeted. We can go down as far as the postal code, as far as targeting goes, including interest and all that kind of stuff. So we put this out there, get it in front of those people. So of that group of people, let's say half of them watch 50% or more of that video. This is a clear indication that they're actually interested in the things you're talking about. These are marketing qualified leads. These are people that you can actually now market to. They've raised their hand a little bit and said, you know what, this is kind of interesting to me. Buying and selling a house, the interest rate, this is important to me. I've watched that video. Now I know that information and I know you. Next, we want to take a call to action. So we target that group of people that have watched 50% or more of your video with a specific call to action. That specific call to action is, hey, come get that free report over here. It's on my website. All you got to do is put your name and email in it. I'll send it over to you right away. Then you have access to this information that nobody else has access to. So it creates a bit more of a relationship with people that you want to work with. Once that group of people is in your email list, you can now send them a series of emails that have been pre-written already, or you can manually go out and reach out to them individually to figure out what type of emails, what type of language, what type of information will further that relationship and get them involved with you until somebody raises their hand and says, I need help. Those are the good qualified leads. Everybody with me so far? Okay, here's how we help. This is a thing that we do that will help make, I get that there's a lot of work here and all of this stuff. We take care of it all. So we start with your brand strategy. Get to know you, who you are, how to represent yourself online so that you guys become readily identifiable by the group of people that you're looking to serve. So that's your brand strategy. Once we know who you are and who you're helping, we can create the content that actually goes out to that group of people in a meaningful way. And that's the content automation. So we have systems that we use to leverage the top performing posts that we've studied over the last 17 years of us doing this with social media and wherever else. And we incorporate that into this. And not only that, we also embed in search engine optimization for you, your website, your discoverability. So you're essentially killing two birds with one stone. And then finally, remember that part where we said we have to pay a little bit of money to reach the people that we're looking to reach. That's where the campaign management comes in. So now we take the content that we've helped you create that is meant to serve a group of people that you serve, and we put it in front of that group of people, and we see what happens. It's kind of like science. It's not perfect, but we make our best guess ready, and then we fire. And then once we know where everything's landing, we start aiming. We start looking for how we can optimize the systems that we built, all the different elements that go into it. And this can be as granular as the photo that you used on the landing page versus the headline that you used on the ad that you put out for that call to action versus the content you're using at the top of funnel. Is it reaching enough people? So there's a lot of moving parts. We help you take it over. So here's the pitch. There is no pitch. I'm not trying to sell you anything today, but I know that each one of you guys are individually have your own situation going on. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to offer my time for you, and we can sit down. We can do a bit of a strategy call. I can go over what it is that you guys got going on. I can act as a doctor, prescribe something if you guys want to do it yourself. We have tons of resources we can help you with. If you want our help, we can pick and pull the whole thing. It all depends on where you guys are at in your situation. So that's the end of it. You can scan that QR code, takes you to a calendar. You can just make a day and time that works for you, and I'll show up.
That's a good question.
Questions, fire away.
I'm a phone call, email, message person. That's all I do. I don't go on a Facebook, Instagram, this and that. I am all of those things, but I don't know how to even open them up. So, whenever somebody goes on those social medias, what about I do have them? I want them to call me or email me or text me.
Right.
Because I don't want to make myself too busy. I look at my WhatsApp, Facebook, all that. I'm not able to do my job, not to breathe this because there are too many things here.
Right.
So, is there any way that you guys do direct those calls or inquiries to the phone or the emails, or they will be just staying there? Because if they're on my Facebook or anywhere and I'm not picking up those calls and not reaching out to them, that looks very bad on me.
Right.
So how those things are handled?
So that's the bottom of your funnel. The result, the desired result that you want for your prospect or potential client is to follow a predictable path. First, they got to find you. Then they got to get to know you. Then they got to like you. And once they do, what action do you want them to take? If it's a phone call, that's the only action we're going to put in front of those people and see if it works. And then if you want emails in addition to that, then we put that action in front of them. Okay. And then if you only want text messages, we put that action in front of them. So we try to control that pathway for them to follow so that all paths lead back to your desired result, which is to get on the phone and actually have a conversation.
Okay, perfect. So I don't have to go through those steps to look at social media.
That's what we do. I take all of that off of your hands so that you're the one that is the face of the company and you do what you do really well. You don't have to worry about all this other marketing stuff.
What I find really confusing about some realtors doing their social media thing, and obviously you're an expert, so, but I'm not sure if they're wanting likes by doing this or not, but there's one in particular one. 1 minute she's laying on the floor, next then she's jumping over the other team member of hers, and then they sit there and smile and don't say anything. And I'm sitting there thinking, am I supposed to be convinced to work with you based on that? Like, what, or is there a theory behind that sort of thing?
My objective opinion, just from the outside looking in, I can tell you the only reason I think that that's happening is for the hook. So if you want somebody's attention, you got to catch them, right? They're scrolling through their feed or they're driving down the road, whatever it is, you got to catch their attention. So if they're scrolling through their feed and this girl's laying on the floor and then she's jumping over a person, and all that, maybe that's the point, is to get people to stop on it. But if there's no actual message, you see where the disconnect is. Yeah. So she's only got one piece of the puzzle. And this is the problem, is that Facebook and Instagram and all these, they're just evolving. Now it's TikTok, and in 5 years, it's going to be a whole different thing. This 10 years ago might have been a fad, a trend, something you could have ignored. Now, what's happening is if somebody wants to work with Amy, they're going to look him up. And if he has nothing on his social media, they're going to, does he even do real estate still? This is what's happening. And then they find the guy that is doing real estate because it looks like they're still doing real estate. So it's more than just the marketing. It's also social proof. It's also discoverability. There's a lot of elements in the moving thing. And I don't expect any of you guys to spend 17 years trying to figure it out.
People, they post some videos of their own talking about some products, whatever. Do you guys make those videos, you put them, or how that works?
Yes. Yes.
And what would the cost for those things and how that works? Do you go to their office or you send somebody, or do they have to come to your studio? Or
So cost is a variable thing depending on how aggressive you want to get. If you want to do a new video every single day, it's obviously that's going to take a lot more time and effort. If it's one a week, then it's going to be a lot more affordable. So that part, the affordability of it. On the other side of it, our process looks something like this. We come, we work with you, we coach you, guide you on if you want to do things yourself or if you want us to do it all for you. And so if you want us to do it all for you, there's still one piece that we're going to need, which is about half an hour to an hour of your time to batch capture the recommended content that you guys are going to need to achieve the outcome that you want. And that starts with, first of all, we got to know who you're helping, what you're helping them with. When we know that, I can do the keyword research that needs to happen in order to find out what people are looking for. What questions are they asking? How can we provide value for that group of people? And then I come to you with that information and we go, okay, if you want to sit on a camera and actually have that conversation with the camera so we can chop it up, make you look cool, we can do that. Or alternatively, you don't even have to be on camera. What we can do is we can have somebody read the script, somebody do the content, and then just make sure that it's got your logos and your branding and all your colors and everything on it. So you don't even have to be involved or on camera. We just need that as a tool so we can get in front of the right group of people and then measure whether or not they're interested in what we get. People work with you because they like you. They don't work with you because you have 20 listings. I know a guy that I went to go, he was going to help me buy a house, and then he got mad that I stopped in at a show home one time. I stopped working with that guy. And it's just a difference of personality. And that's what we want to help you guys communicate with the people that you're aiming to serve. It's like, this is how you do things. You're this kind of guy. And this gets really granular. Richard, you might feel like you're boring, but you've helped a lot of people. And it's not because you're exciting or boring or anything. It's because you're you. You're genuine, you're authentic, and you communicate clearly. That helps. And if we could showcase that to the other people that haven't met you yet, you'd find more people would fall in love with you and want to work with you just for that.